p.m. in Akwaja village in Akko subdivision, that's in the Donga Mountain division of the northwest region of Cameroon. Same time in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the primetime newscast on Equinoxe television with me. For me, I'm Sean Sander. In our top stories tonight, in another shocking attack, armed cattle herders from the neighboring Federal Republic of Nigeria have raised hectares of cocoa, plantain and cocoyam farms in Bombe village, Akwaya subdivision of the Manu division in the southwest region. The assault coming on the heels of similar attacks in Mbat in the Donga Mountain, Ishimbi clan villages of the Menchum division, Mbadung, all of the northwest region and other areas in the English-speaking regions, as locals, inhabitants in the Anglophone regions say they are feeling abandoned by the Cameroonian government authorities as the wave of violence spread across the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Questions mount: who is attacking these individuals? Who are the people backing them up? Why is the government of Cameroon seemingly silent? Also in this edition of the news, Pope Leo XIV has appointed Cameroonian-born Vera Songwa, a Cameroonian economist, as an ordinary member of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences. This prestigious appointment recognizes her outstanding works in economic development, public policy, and global finance. Dr. Songwe is currently co-chair of the independent high-level experts group in climate change, finance, and has held senior roles at the United Nations and the World Bank. These stories and more will be yours in this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, we're glad once again welcome. Thanks for choosing to be informed by the burst of television network across Cameroon and the Central African sub-region. This is Equinoxe Television, live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, Equinoxe Central News Desk. Now we're starting with one of our top stories to safeguard several hectares of land containing cocoa, plantain, and cocoyams have been burned and destroyed by armed cattle herders from the neighboring Federal Republic of Nigeria, reportedly Akwaya subdivision of the southwest region. The local inhabitants say that it is coming on the heels of similar attacks in several villages across the border between Cameroon and Nigeria within the context of the conflicts rocking the Anglophone regions. We have details with Simat Njika and Gabriel in the following report.
A large hectare of land, all in ruins, after suspected armed cattle herders from Nigeria stormed Bombe village in Akwaya subdivision of the southwest region.
This is what the Bombe people are going through in the hands of the herdsmen from Nigeria. They are just burning places, burning people's cocoa farms, destroying people's food with their cattle, and if you say anything, they kill you, because all of them are armed. To the least child that is taking care of the cows is well armed with AK-47 with other machine guns. So the Bombe people are desperate.
Amongst the crops destroyed as a result of this incident are cocoa trees, plantains, cocoyam, and a host of other crops. Notwithstanding the serious security crisis in Bombe village, the forces of law and order are absent.
The commander of the gendarmerie post in Berlin is not doing anything because he has not even gone there or sent his elements to go and check on what is going on in Bombe. So he has abandoned the people on their own and they are just there and helpless.
Bombe people say they are fed up with the abandonment by the government.
We are just fed up, we are just tired, and we cannot fight them back because they are armed and done fast. We are just praying that something should be done. The
ongoing crisis in Bombe adds up to the already existing problems. Amongst them, no direct roads into Akwaya, no pipe-borne water, and internet. This has been the situation since 1963, when Akwaya was created.
And still with tears from different communities across Cameroon, residents of the Newtown Aeroport and PK 17, all of the city of Douala are raising an alarm over what they say is the danger that looms in their neighborhood. 2 weeks now. They say that they are denouncing the fact that their lives and that of their children are in imminent danger of electrocution, given several cables that have been abandoned by the company in charge in their neighborhoods. Their worries are compiled by Immaculate Fogwe in the following reports.
Bathing in sunshine, kids in Newtown Arepo, Block Do in Douala, laugh and play blissfully, unaware of the looming danger. A precarious electric pole hangs like a hawk, threatening lives. These other set of school children on their way back home are equally ignorant about the looming threat of electrocution.
Look at innocent children playing close to the cables. It is really sad that we are putting their lives in danger. They are ignorant about the danger, reasons why they play so close to touching it. There are several electric cables on the ground. Do they want people to continue dying here? This has been the situation for over 2 weeks.
Still in the same neighborhood, a fallen electric pole blocks a lane with residents reporting no response despite multiple alerts. In Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, electrical installations have become a major concern. Cables hang precariously over roads, connections are unregulated, and poles are weakened by age, posing significant risk to residents. The situation is particularly dire in neighborhoods like Pika Diset, still in Douala, where residents have improvised solutions to support cables, exposing themselves and passerby to electrocution risk. Recently, a boy in his 30s was electrocuted to death while trying to cross over this cable.
It is really scary, and we are waiting for the electricity distribution company in Nous to send workers to address the problem here. They seem indifferent. We have tried paying technicians to fix it, but they say that it is above their competence. Someone was electrocuted to death here, and we are scared that they might be another victim.
Despite this risk, life seems to be unfolding normally around these degraded installations. Residents plead for urgent action to secure the network, seeking an end to dangers that threaten their lives daily.
And away from the risks of electrocution in these neighborhoods, the city of Douala in most part is also facing another chronic problem, that of water shortage that is spanning for months now in several neighborhoods, with reports coming of just how people go through difficulties in order to be able to get hold of the precious liquid water. The company in charge of water distribution says that the difficulties witnessed by several neighborhoods of Cameroon's economic capital city is due to poor outages, rehabilitation works going on in some major stretches that, according to them, has damaged pipes. We have their worries compiled in the following report by Sadiq Chakuchu.
Residents in numerous Douala neighborhoods, notably Bonaberi, Dokbasi, Nyala and Bepanda, are expressing a severe chronic water shortage which often lasts for months.
It's really terrible. More than 1 week and 2 days now. It has been bad. The situation is not good at all, because a whole town like Douala, living without water for more than a week is very disastrous. It's not easy. Going to carry water from the well, which is not even clean, in a town like Douala. We are waiting for cholera outbreak before we give water. It's not really easy to live without water in a town like this. And with the heat, there's no water. It's not good.
We have been living almost 2 weeks without water. We manage, sometimes we'll carry forage. When there's no forage, we'll manage to carry at the well. It's difficult because sometimes they will look for rush.
We have 4 months that we don't have water here. Up this way, there are people that they have 1 year, they don't have water here.
According to the company in charge of the distribution of water in the city of Douala, the lack of water is due to a power outage and works on roads launched here and there, which destroys the pipes.
Routier empêche que l'eau n'arrive dans les domiciles des abonnés parce que les conduites de transport de distribution sont détruites lors des travaux. Les branchements des abonnés également, donc ce qui fait que l'eau ne peut plus arriver dans les domiciles des abonnés.
Added to that, the top management says,
dans la ville de Douala, nous rencontrons des dizaines de cas de fraude tous les jours.
They say the massive fraud and illegal connections also destabilizes the network and causes pressure drops, thus leading to the lack of water in some localities.
Donc la plupart c'est par des cas de fraude qu'on observe dans des quartiers.
In a bid to find solutions to these problems, Camwater's top management has just launched a project to expand and improve the production capacity of the Japoma plant. The main objective is to increase the production to 68,000 meters cubed of water per day.
Qu'on aura une eau de meilleure qualité pour Douala, amélioration de la capacité de production parce que à l'initial nous avons 55 000 mètres cubes de disponibles. Donc dans le cadre de ces travaux-ci, il s'agit de réhabiliter les 55 000 mètres cubes et de donner une capacité additionnelle de 68 000 mètres cubes, ce qui va nous porter environ à 123 000 mètres cubes jour disponibles pour les populations de Douala.
Beyond this project, other initiatives are also on the way to improve access to drinking water for inhabitants in the city of Douala.
4 forages industriels qui vont avoir une capacité additionnelle de 19 000 mètres cubes par jour. Un forage est prévu à Koumassi pour renforcer la zone de Koumassi. Il a noté qu'il y a un nouveau château qui a été réhabilité là-bas. Donc il faut donner l'additionnel à ce château pour davantage impacter la zone. On a également un forage prévu à Lopessou, un autre forage à Cité des Palmiers et un dernier à Ndokbon. Donc ces 4 forages donneront donc les 19 000 mètres cubes de capacité additionnelle pour soulager déjà une bonne partie des populations. Et puis ce projet viendra pour compenser le manque en eau qu'on peut avoir dans la ville de Douala.
In homes, residents continue to wait for these various projects to be implemented and for a real improvement of their daily lives.
And the response from the company in charge of water distribution in Cameroon followed an extensive coverage of the chronic water problem in several neighborhoods of the city of Douala by Equinoxe television. Despite this response, several neighborhoods continue to cry out at the level of the People's Channel, notably those of Makepe Bijou, who came recently complaining of how they've gone for several weeks without the precious liquid water. It is a serious problem. Now, we talk something else to say that over 50 local phone repairers of the Ansem Tuazem neighborhood of Douala are now stranded after being forced out of their business premises. They say that a shop is being constructed on the site where they initially used to do business by an individual who is consequently asking them to pay the sum of 3 million francs CFA each to occupy a shop, a sum which to them is exorbitant. Their worries are compiled by Malak Glory.
The business persons whose main activity at the Ancien Troisième neighborhood in Douala is phone repairing revealed that they have been operating on this space for over 20 years. Today, they are asked to relocate to a place they describe as deplorable.
I am one of the oldest people here and was once a victim of fire incident.
Or repairers who wish to upgrade to the new facilities should pay an exorbitant amount of 3 million francs CFA.
We were asked to settle beside the toilet. Which customer will feel comfortable to come with their work to such an area? That we should pay 185,000 yearly for small shops inside the market. Or pay 3 million francs CFA for the newly constructed shops.
This development follows the illegal construction of approximately 5 shops on a drain and footpath, which previously served as a workspace for local phone repairers. In disagreement, the people carried out a protest, a situation which was immediately controlled by the forces of law and order, even to the disadvantage of the repairers.
When we complained, they called the police on us and they destroyed our properties. My flask of food was damaged, whereas I have been here for years. I was even surprised that shops are constructed on a gutter.
With their only source of income tampered with, They are left stranded, frustrated and crying out for help.
Nous faisons appel à monsieur le gouverneur qu'il essaie de regarder cette...
We call on the governor, the senior divisional officer and other authorities concerned to come to our rescue because we are helpless and powerless.
Que leur population qui...
Meantime, sources reveal that the disputed area has been approved for construction by the city council, yet the people still wait for the authorities to resolve the problem.
And initially built for 200 inmates, the Buddha main prison that's in the Bambutus division of the West region of Cameroon currently houses some 421 prisoners. The prison overcrowding is further compounded by several other factors facing the penitentiary structure, notably which were noticed during a visit by the Bishop of Bafoussam Diocese. During the first-hand visit, the bishop called on the prisoners to seek conversion spiritually as a way out of the unfortunate situation. Lord Manero has more in the following report.
Built since 1952 with a capacity of containing more than 200 prisoners, the prison of Buddha now contains 422 detainees and 192 suspects. This overpopulation, coupled with lack of transport facilities of prisoners to their trials. Our needs are transport facilities like buses and big cars to ease their transportation, avoid humiliating thoughts and outlook of the population whenever they walk to their trial. This preoccupation was presented during the visit of the Bishop Paul Lodsin Kene. He calls on them to take advantage of this miserable and humiliating situation to change their mentality and the way of life. He told them that people outside will look at them with fear because they know their status. But if they practice charity and work to show them that they are born again and change people, the eyes of the population on them will completely change. The bishop centered his preach on the necessity of conversion and forgiveness.
Mes amis, convertissez-vous, convertissons-nous. Et nous vivrons. Amen. 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 Priez pour vous, priez pour ceux que vous avez offensés, priez pour ceux qui vous ont offensés et demandez au Seigneur en ce temps de carême de vous accorder la grâce de la conversion. Il n'est jamais trop tard pour se convertir. Amen.
During this pastoral visit in the Bafoussam prison, the bishop urged the Christian community to be a listening ear and a comfort soul for the detainees. He promised expansion of the drilling network in the prison and brought foodstuffs and other necessities for these prisoners.
I'm sure you know that Cameroon has an eldest member of parliament after the passing away of the former. Now, let's talk about her in this edition of the news. As you see on your screens, from the cabins of Cameroon's airlines to the chambers of the National Assembly in Cameroon, the journey of Honorable Mali Soapo spans more than 5 decades of professional and public service. Born in the city of Douala on April 7, 1947, the 78-year-old parliamentarian has built a career that cuts across aviation, municipal governance, and national politics within the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. Here is Innocent Azeh with details on Cameroon's current eldest member of parliament.
Born on April 7, 1947 in Douala, the Honorable Mali Soapo is today 78 years old and one of the experienced figures of Cameroon's political scene. She currently serves as Member of Parliament for the Wuri constituency at the National Assembly. Her professional journey began in the aviation sector in 1971, where she emerged to laureate of the very first air hostess recruitment competition organized by Cameroon Airlines. From 1971 to 1998, she worked as an air hostess, later rising to the position of chief cabin attendant and senior chief cabin attendant, building nearly 3 decades of experience in air transport. Between 1998 and 2004, she moved into administration within the same company, serving as principal administrative officer, where she supervised reception management and the coordination of commercial service staff. In 2004, she expanded into business management, becoming Director General of the Civil Real Estate Company. Her entry into local governance came in 2002 when she was elected Municipal Councillor in Douala II, a position she held until 2020. Within the same council, she served as first deputy mayor from 2002 to 2007 and later second deputy mayor from 2007 to 2013, contributing to municipal administration and local development. Her political career reached the national stage on March 10, 2020, when she was elected Member of Parliament to the National Assembly of Cameroon, representing the Wuri. A few months later, on June 15, 2020, she was appointed member of the Higher Judicial Council, the body responsible for overseeing the country's magistracy. Within the ruling Cameroon's People's Democratic Movement, she has also been active in the women's wing of the party. Since September 15, 2011, she has served as a member of the National Bureau of the CPDM. Over the years, her service has been recognized with several national honors, including Commander of the National Order of Valor, one of the country's highest distinctions. Known for her proximity to grassroots communities in Douala, she regularly supports social initiatives aimed at assisting vulnerable families and encouraging women's participation in politics through the women's wing of her party. In 2026, her seniority and experience earned her another symbolic role when she presided over the opening of the March parliamentary session as the eldest member of the National Assembly. With decades of public service behind her, Honorable Mali Sopo remains a prominent voice in Cameroon's political arena, combining legal expertise, party loyalty, and community engagement.
Le Cameroun a besoin d'un climat apaisé.
Well, that's great. On to another great personality. The Holy Father, Pope Leo XIV, has appointed Dr. Vera Songwe, Cameroonian-born, as an ordinary member of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences. The appointment was made public by the Holy See's press office at the Vatican. It comes few weeks to the Pope's expected visit to the nation Cameroon. In the following report, Staff Lady Annabella tells us more about the Pontifical Academy of Social Science and also tells us a little about Dr. Vera Songwe.
By Pope St. John Paul II, the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences promotes research and dialogue in fields such as economics, sociology, law, and political science. The Pontifical Academy statute states that the Academy provides the Church with analytical tools to develop and apply its social doctrine in contemporary societies. Members are selected on the basis of expertise in the social sciences and recognized moral integrity, and they are not required to be Catholic. Vera Songwe joins a network of global scholars and policy specialists whose work focuses on economic governance, development policy, and social transformation. Born in Nairobi, Kenya in 1968 to Cameroonian parents from Bamendankwe in the Northwest region, Vera Songwe studied economics and political science at the University of Michigan and later obtained a doctorate in mathematical economics from the Catholic University of Leuven in Belgium. Her career spans policy dialogue and economic programs across Africa, Asia, and other regions, with work in countries including Mongolia, Cambodia, Morocco, and the Philippines. The Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences increasingly brings together experts involved in international development, climate financing, and global economy policy to analyze issues affecting modern societies. From 1998 to 2015, Vera Songwe worked at the World Bank, where she held various positions including that of World Bank Director for Senegal, Cape Verde, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Mauritania. She is currently co-chair of the Independent High-Level Expert Group on Climate Finance, as well as founder of the Liquidity and Sustainability Fund initiative aimed at facilitating financing for African countries. The appointment of Vera Songwe by Pope Leo XIV comes weeks before a scheduled papal visit to Cameroon from April 15 to 18, 2026.
In news out of the country, Cameroon, a drone strike hit the city of Goma in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, causing panic among local residents. Rebel armed group, the AFC-M24, which controls the city of Goma, accuses the capital Kinshasa government of the drone or orchestrating the attack, which according to them targeted a residence occupied by the United Nations staff, killing several people. And in Madagascar, the president of the country has dismissed his government. This comes after he received pressure from the civil society organization and youth group in the country demanding a change in the nation's government. A roundup with international news reporter Sidi Chakuchu.
In Goma, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a drone strike around 4 a.m. on Wednesday caused panic among residents. The armed group AFC-M23, which controls the city, claims the attack targeted a residence occupied by the United Nations personnel, leaving several people dead, as it accuses the Kinshasa government of orchestrating the attack. On the ground, the damage is extensive. The targeted residence was largely destroyed by the explosion, followed by a fire that was contained by firefighters, while United Nations peacekeepers were deployed to secure the neighborhood. Residents, awakened in the middle of the night by the blast, recount scenes of fear. Elsewhere, in Madagascar, just 10 days after submitting the transition timetable to the Southern African Development Community, Colonel Michael Randranirina suddenly dismissed his prime minister and the entire government. Between broken promises and ultimatum from the youth, from civil society organizations denouncing an authoritarian drift, the new government is making a risky shift in an attempt to regain control. This dissolution comes just as authorities had taken a key step by submitting a 2-year roadmap for a refounding of power to the SADC on February 28th. Earlier in February, the president of the new government had traveled to Moscow and then Paris to refocus his diplomacy on the needs of the Malgache people, breaking with the old regime.
And still in news out of Cameroon, as the war in Iran continues with strategic oil sites being attacked, there are fears that fuel prices might increase in several parts of the world in the days or months ahead. This is because over 20% of global oil products comes from the Skylights area, one of the biggest oil refineries in the world, based in Dubai, which was recently destroyed, according to a report compiled by staff lady Annabella.
And missile attacks in the Middle East, precisely in Iran, has caused a significant slowdown or stop in oil production and transport, affecting over 20 to 30% of global shipments, particularly through the Strait of Hormuz.
La plupart des pays du continent exportent du pétrole brut.
Following the bomb attack on one of the largest oil refineries in the United Arab Emirates, based in Dubai, the Skylight, there are fears of huge spillover effect. The price of fuel might increase in the months ahead in the African continent, Cameroon inclusive.
Tant que l'Afrique exportera du brut pour ensuite importer du carburant, chaque choc pétrolier restera à la fois une opportunité budgétaire.
Dr. Jouées Notsa explains that a huge percentage of oil shipments go through the Strait of Hormuz Canal. With the recent missile attacks on oil transportation ships, maritime traffic has reduced by 80% for security reasons. Oil ships which dare to take that route are obliged to pay heavy insurance dues.
Le continent produit du pétrole, mais il ne contrôle pas encore suffisamment les segments les plus stratégiques de la chaîne de valeur.
The Paris-based economist further explains that the government can subsidize prices when the time comes. This is because security reserves can only serve the population for a short while.
Il faut toutefois rappeler qu'il existe là également des mécanismes d'amortissement. Dans plusieurs pays, les importateurs ou les compagnies pétrolières disposent de stocks de sécurité.
And when the price of fuel rises, living standards drop and cost of living increases.
Lorsque le carburant devient plus cher, les coûts de transport augmentent immédiatement.
Anarabila ended this edition of News on Equinoxe Television. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you immensely for your keen attention, urging you to stay in the comment of interesting programs on your #1 television network, Equinoxe. Our next edition of News will be in the French language. That will be at 8 p.m. As for me, rendezvous is taken for tomorrow, same time on same frequency. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.